Hey there, it's Elizabeth, and welcome back to the third and final installment of my Process in Real Time videos. So, I hope you enjoyed the first two. I will link those below so you can go back if you haven't had a chance to see those. Thank you so much to, I believe it was Tatiana on YouTube, and of course Trish from Dish Kitty Studio, and for asking, how I go about doing what I do, along with some others of you that asked me as well to do a process video. I don't normally do these because I said in the previous videos, I don't fast forward, I don't edit, I don't know how, I don't intend to learn. So here we go. What I did for this page right here in the previous videos is I showed you how I go from a blank page like this to something that looks like this is my next stage, where I put in all of my clip art, my, Happy Mail tidbits, stickers, whatever, clip arts. And then I also, while I'm doing that, I kind of figure out the composition of my page, and I write in all of my journaling and headlines in pencil. That was the first video that I did in this series, is showing you how I get from the blank page to this kind of prepped page. Then the next video I showed you, video number 2, was I did this section right here, and I kind of walked you through my thought process on how I go about choosing colors, how I go about outlining my clip art, doing my headlines and my Poscas, writing everything out in my Flair pens, and then choosing colors to color in the backgrounds. Okay, now off camera, I went ahead and finished out the page. So, I learned a few things while doing this. So Trish, thanks so much again for asking about my color planning. I had literally no idea that I spend so much time color planning. I've been doing this now this is my third year, and so it just kind of comes out like this. I sit at my desk and I just start, and this is what comes out. So, but however, I did learn that I do really put quite a lot of thought into my color choices. Okay, so in this section here, I outlined this clip art of magazines in blue because I had a blue background here. I did this in green Posca, and that was using the 3M green Posca, simply because there was some green up in here and there's some green in this photo. I outlined everything in my darker pink, what is this called? Papermate Flair. So I outlined everything in the pink Flair, and then I used this light blue Flair to do my lettering here, which again ties in with the outlining of the blue and the blue background here. I chose to do the background of this whole section here in yellow just because this was in yellow, so I wanted to add more yellow. And this down here was just kind of an afterthought, to be quite honest with you. Oh, I'm noticing right here that I need to erase my pencil marks in here. Okay. So this down here, I just decided to write it in purple and then color the background in orange. I did that mainly because on my washi tape on the side here, if you can see that, it has, like hot pink, or not hot pink, but like dark pink and orange and purple in it. So that's kind of what prompted me to do this in purple and orange. Then the very last step I do, hopefully you can see it, there we go, is my header up here. These are pretty much the only thing that stays the same and consistent on each and every one of my pages. I always put the number of the day here. I write out the month here. For the month of May, I always have this big space here, so I just decided to use some of my little stamps, and I just, stamp right here just to take up that space. Sometimes I use little stickers. It just all depends. For the month of May, I'm just going to use these little stamps. And then this right here is an S, and that denotes the day of the week. So this is a Saturday. When I go back through these, or in some cases, or in the case of other people going through them, if they ever do, they will know that, you know, what happened on this page happened on a Saturday. Okay, now for the final step, I've colored in my header up at the top. What I do for this too, again, Trish, my gosh, I can't believe how much I've learned from you from the question you asked. Again, I do color plan this up here without even realizing it. This is always the same. My sun is always the same yellow. I always use the same cerulean blue. We live in South Florida, so typically that is my weather, unless it's rainy. And then I actually choose colors from within my palette that I've used for the rest of the page to color in these headers up here, right? So I had orange at the bottom. I put orange here. I drew in purple, or I wrote my journaling in purple, so I did this box in purple, and then I did my journaling in green here, so I did green here. I just happen to enjoy what I typically call my style as colorful hot mess, okay? Another thing I learned is that I do spend quite a while on these pages. So the first video was 30 some minutes, almost 40 minutes. And that was just getting it to this stage. And then the next step, when I just did this part right here, was about 30 minutes. And then this part here was about another 20 minutes. So I'd say that, yeah, I spend a good hour. Because of course, as I'm doing this and I'm talking to you and I'm walking you through my thought process, it's going to take a little bit longer. But so yeah, in general, I spend, if I do a page like this, I spend about an hour doing it. Now, I am retired. I have a little bit more free time on my hands than other people. And let's face it, I'd rather be doing this than washing windows or toilets. So there's that. Now, for the very last part up here, what I do is in the front of all my books, I have a pocket where I keep various items. One being an Avery address label sheet. And on here, I already have these pre-done on my computer over the years of me doing this Fauxbonichi. And these happen to be quotes from various people. So I just look through here, and the one that pops out is this one right here. Never leave that till tomorrow, which you can do today, by Benjamin Franklin, right? So see, I could have done these videos and these catching up pages tomorrow, but nope. Why do them tomorrow when I can do them today? So I always color this in first before I put my sticky on. So I do, and by the way, just so you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This header up here is 5 boxes tall. This one right here is, I do believe, well, let's count, shall we? Like 4.5, about 4, you know, because of the washi tape here. So this is a 4 by 5 square box. This is a 4 by 5 square box. This box right here is 14 boxes across because that is how big my labels are, okay? And then whatever's left over is where I put my month, all right? So this is the last step. So I'm just going to stick this right in this little box, you know, as best I can. Okay, so there you have it. Okay, that is the end and the final look at my page completed. Okay, now I have a lot of fun doing this. I do have a passion for doing it. Like I said, I would much rather sit in my art room and work on these pages than I would, you know, cleaning the kitchen or vacuuming, okay? I'm not so sure my husband agrees with that, but anyway, that's a whole different story. So that's how I do my pages. That's my thought process. I hope it helped you out. I hope it gave you a few ideas. I also want to make mention that you do not have to do your Fauxbonichi this way, okay? if you go over to the Fauxbonichi group, there are so many wonderful women on that group, and everybody has their own style. Everyone does it differently. Some people use like a page layout or a template type of thing. Some people don't add any color to their page at all. Some people do a beautiful, watercolor picture and then do their journaling around it in black ink only, okay? Everybody does it differently. This just happens to be the way that I enjoy doing it. It is your journal, it is your life. You do it the way that you want to do it. You do it the way that, time allows you to do it. And the most important part or most important thing that I could tell you is to have fun doing it, because once it is no longer fun, then it becomes work, and who wants to do that? So yeah, make it fun for yourself. Fit it into your own time schedule. You don't have to use any particular book. You don't have to use any particular materials. Use what you have. Use what best suits you and what you want in your journal. And yeah, again, most importantly, just have fun. So I really hope that you enjoyed this little mini series as much as I enjoyed making it. I really learned a lot about myself, quite honestly. And it was a lot of fun doing it for you. So as always, if you have any questions or comments about how I do anything in particular, I will gladly do a video response for you or another type of process video for you. And yeah, so leave those comments below. And again, I thank you for your time and I thank you for sharing it with me. And I hope you've been inspired to start journaling on your own and do your own thing. So have fun with it, and I'll catch you next time. Thanks.